Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Friday, Jill and I talk about how 33% of our members quit their day jobs to invest full time. I have to tell you that one of the things I can't stand about this business that we're in is
Please do tell.
all these wannabes on Facebook or wherever else in social media that sit around and have tags like this. You too can be rich. Yeah. You too can quit your job.
I know.
We know you hate your job. This is the answer. Follow me. And I promised myself and I promised Jill the day we started this in 2015 that we would never be one of those people. And it really worked out for everybody's benefit because the type of, and the quality of the person that we're attracting or that's in our group is, you know, our business partners. And so what ended up happening is they actually started quitting their jobs. So
keep going.
And that was the motivation.
Right.
The motivation for them to get in, you know, to start a side gig. You know, everybody who's got a side business, you know, if they're into it, wants it to be eventually their full-time thing. And so it ended up that I only know about this because people are reporting back to us in droves that they're quitting their jobs and they're send us Jill and I thank you notes. How, you know, the last one we got was something like, you know, thank you for letting me be a father to my children and my wife and taking some control over my financial situation. It was truly heartfelt and amazing. So
exactly.
We'll talk about it, I guess, in the show here. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the LandInvestors.com online community. It's free.
Wally asks, hello, land investors. I'm new to the game. I'm not a pro member yet. This is a great forum, by the way. Learn a ton sifting through the comments in this forum. I'm working on my first mailer. I have downloaded data from Agent Pro 24/7.
Interesting.
Here's my question. A lot of the records show the property is owned by multiple owners, sometimes a couple. For example, Jason and Mary Smith, sometimes by 3 or 4 people. Do you mail these people or just mail to properties owned by a single person? I'm guessing it's easier to deal with one owner than multiple owners. 2, do you know of an easier way to filter out properties owned by multiple people before pulling the data from Agent Pro 24/7? Looks like half of my data fits this category. I appreciate your feedback. And then our moderator, Kevin, piped in, Wally, and here's his response here. Wally, hello and welcome to the Land Investors Forum. That is great that you're digging into your data.
Exactly.
Let me try to clear this up for you.
Good.
There are really 2 types of ownership to discuss. One, where there are multiple names on the deed and they all own the property together.
Joint tenants.
This can also be done using a trust. The whole family is named on the trust and the trust owns the property and some of the members have authority to buy and sell the property. 2, the property is divided into fractional interests and each person has a deed for his fraction. For instance, the legal description may say 1/4 interest in the 10 acres of Apache County, Nevada. In the first case, as long as everyone's agreed to sell and sign and are available to sign, then go ahead and buy it. These are fine as long as everyone's still alive and willing to sign on the deed. In the second case, the seller can only sell his fraction and has no control over what the other owners do. To buy 100% of that property, you would need to have contact each fractional owner and buy him or her out separately. Don't do these deals.
Don't do them ever.
It's true. Just walk away and look for better deals.
Greatest advice ever.
Perfect. Were you going to add some more about that?
Yes. So that's part of it. And thank you, Kevin, for once again, like a PhD level response.
Exactly.
Perfectly worded, perfect sentences. Seriously, we couldn't hope for a better moderator. Thank you.
Exactly.
I think what the root of this question is this. Should I send a letter? I just downloaded all the data and it looks like one guy owns 15 properties here in this county. Do I need to send him 15 letters? That's a question. Or how can I, like, in an automated fashion, get the other 14 out because I only want to send him 1 letter? We personally send him 15 letters because then they get it and they'll call us back. You don't have to do this. On DataTree, there's literally an easy button. You just check it and say remove all duplicates before you download the data. DataTree comes with House Academy, not Land Academy, for a very, very good reason, because it's way better for houses and not as good for land. So you can choose to remove these duplicates, sort through it once you download the data, and that's up to you. But we choose to send them a letter because very, very often when you get 10 letters, you know, you're like, all right, these guys are pretty serious. Maybe I do want to sell some of these properties or all of them. So it's up to you. Sending mail is not, I'm the first one to say, sending mail is expensive.
Back in the day, though, I remember we'd scrub them out because if you know, our new people, we talk about this. If you don't have, you know, postage is money, you know, and sometimes you don't have to send the same guy fork. He'll gets it when he gets your one letter if he owns 4 properties, and all you do is ask too. We're really good about that. We'll say, what else do you have? Do you have anything else you want to sell? And you can get them that way too.
I mean, if you're brand new and you really want to save some money, just send them one letter. Here's the takeaway from all this. Data is really cheap. Mail is expensive.
Right.
So you can cut them out. But I'll tell you the better chance is to send it all.
And you don't want to mail people that you're free, like those fractional ones. You don't want to mail them because it's too hard. You don't want to, exactly. And you got to track down the other 3 people. That's not fun.
Never
but
successfully
normal
done a deal like that.
where it's husband and wife, mail away. You know, that's typically a normal situation. You know, don't just look for, you know, sole and separate, whatever. You know, you don't need to go that far.
Yeah. Today's topic, 33% of our members quit their day jobs to invest full time. This is the meat of the show. The title pretty much is the whole episode here. This is something that consistently shocks me. And then the notes that Jill and I get, the heartfelt notes, like I alluded to in the beginning, just shocked me that how well this is working for some people. It's been working great for Jill and I for decades. But the fact that for whatever reason, how we're marketing this, we're choosing the right people to become our business partners and members of our group. And they're kind of like data freaks like we are and organization freaks. And the vast majority of the people that come to us have other professional experience, whether they're executives in companies or managers, or they own their own other types of online companies, and they're looking for property or some product to sell that's cheaper than the one that they have now, or higher margin or less work. Those are the types of people, for whatever reason, that Land Academy and House Academy are attracting. So when you think of it that way, when you think of it backwards, it's no wonder that they're quitting their jobs. You know, it's no wonder that they make it so profitable that they don't need to work at their full-time job anymore.
I want to back up and say a couple things. Like, we know we got the number from a survey that we did in February. That's where we got that number. And we were like blown away by how many people, A, completed the survey, and B, were honest about it. But one of the things is we are pretty consistent about, please don't do it too early. I mean, if this is your end goal, I wish you all the best. For some people, a lot of people, it doesn't work out, and that's okay. We have a lot of members that they're only here to buy their dream property, their vacation property, maybe their primary residence, maybe just make a little cash on the side. They have some free time. Who knows? You know, but if it starts to go that way, we are famous for saying you should only do this when you know you're losing money, and you should have done it a year ago.
You're losing money at your job.
Exactly. Yeah, your day job is keeping you from this, and it's slowing you down. And you wish you would have quit a year ago because you have that much in the bank now that you're like, I know if this all goes sideways, you know, I've got the next 2 years paid for. I love that we have members that's how they think and operate. They know what their expenses are every month, and they watch. I think this is a great way to do it. We've talked about this before. Where, all right, now we have 6 months of our operating costs in the bank. Now we have 8 months of our operating costs in the bank. Yeah, that's how
they look at it.
They know, and then and that should be a great way to look at it. You know, when you know you have a year of your total family operating costs in the bank, everything including, putting your normal savings deposit and everything in there, maybe then you can think about it. But you know what I mean? I never want anyone to be in a pickle. It's not worth it. So,
it's so interesting how people see that balance. You know, this is a good time to bring this up. I was watching a Shark Tank episode one time, and for whatever reason, this came up. It came up with, there were 3 young women who wanted to start, I think it was an online dating service, or maybe it was a home decoration online service. I can't remember. It was one of the 2.
Okay.
And they weren't ready to do it. They all had separate jobs. They were living in separate places. Their expenses were way too high. And Mark Cuban comes in. He sits there and says, Stop, 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 stop. You can't do this backwards. You have to, he said, you need to clear your slate and clear your plate. Get yourself in a situation where you're going to succeed instead of fail. And so he told his own story. He said, and he made his money in software and scaling software and scaling it in a big way to other software companies and platforms and stuff. And I don't want to get into it, but it's really worth going to look into his story because he moved in in a house, in a filthy, dirty fraternity-like house for $200 or $300 a month, all expenses, utilities, everything. And he went to work. And he got the software developers he needed to, and he got them to work for free to give them equity, and took 2 or 3 years to get that product to market, and killed it ever since then. And he said, that's how to do this. And I really think that it doesn't, if somebody would have said 33% of your members are going to quit their jobs, I would have laughed when we started this.
I know.
I would have said, there's no way that's going to happen. I quit my job long ago because of this business. And my expenses were like $500 or $800 a month, I think, if that. So I always knew I had that personality type. I didn't think we would be attracting the same personality types. I thought we would be attracting people that they want to make $5,000 or $8,000 more a month, pay their mortgage or pay their mortgage off, or complement whatever existing thing that they're doing. So I don't know why that didn't register.
I know. Isn't it great? I'm sorry, I had to pause and say, because I'm laughing. I just saw the all-American family walk behind me. Each one holding boogie boards. And there's like dad's rolling the cooler with the sandwiches and drinks, and it just looked really cool. I had to
Jill is absolutely fascinated by the people
it.
who choose to vacation here for some reason.
Hilarious. I know. It's so good anyway. But that's our people. That's us, by the way. And we're going to be out there next.
Yeah. Hey, we know your time's valuable. Thanks for spending some of it with us today anyway. Join us next time for another interesting episode.
And we answer your questions posted on our online community found at LandInvestorscom. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
You know, it is true that I love it. We have done a really good job of attracting really good people, and everybody is very helpful and upfront and brutally honest. We're all really honest about that's a bad deal. Don't do it, kind of thing. We're not sugarcoating anything. We're trying to save each other, and it's all worked out great.
Yeah.
Wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.